Pinegrow Theme Converter is a desktop app that lets us convert our custom HTML designs into WordPress themes. And the special thing about Pinegrow Theme Converter is that once we create the WordPress theme, we keep designing our website in whatever website builder we want. So let me show you how it works. And I will be using Webflow as a website builder. So let's go to Webflow. Here is my portfolio site. And I just need to export the code. Let's download the zip file. And let's unzip the files into a folder we will be using for the project. So this is our HTML source project. And to start creating the theme, we open this folder with exported HTML files in Pinegrow Theme Converter. Open project, select the folder, and this brings up the theme settings dialog where we give the theme a name. Let's call it my portfolio, and a theme slug, which is like computer friendly name. And we have to select the folder where our theme files will be exported. And that should be located in the WP content folder of our local WordPress installation. So the location of this folder will be different on your system. It depends on where your WordPress is installed. And let's create a new folder for the theme. And the preview URL is the address of the local WordPress site. Again, this address will be different on your system, depending on how you have WordPress installed. And then we also have to select the main master page of the project, so that's usually index.html file. Let's save the settings. And here is our main page. Just so we can see everything. So first, let's take a screenshot of the theme, update theme screenshot, and then we are ready to export the theme for the first time. This is just a notice telling us that functions PHP was generated in our source folder. And we can now activate the theme in the WordPress admin panel. Let's visit the site. So here it is. It shows up, but there is no dynamic content on the page yet. So back in Pinegrow, we will use the WordPress panel to add WordPress actions to various elements on the page. So like there are hundreds of actions here, but luckily we can do almost everything with just 20 or so smart actions. So let's quickly do this front page together. So this is the portfolio theme. So we will make the name and profession and the callout all editable in WordPress Customizer. And here we can see the structure of the page. And first we can add Customizer section on this area of the page that displays the header information. Let's call it intro. And we will use this ID as prefix for other customizer fields that will come inside this section. And sections are useful because they group the different fields together in Customizer. It's more easy to navigate. So now let's actually do the fields. Let's select the name, and then we say add Customizer field, and we give it an ID, so name, label, my name, and that's all. And then let's select the profession, and we add Customizer field. And then the callout. And here, because we have more text, we will use text area field. Okay, and so let's export the theme and check it out. And now we can open Customize, and here is our intro section where we can change the information. And we publish the changes. And that's all it took to create these editable fields. It was super easy, right? So let's go back to Pinegrow and let's take a look at the project section. So next we see 4 projects displayed in a CSS grid. And each project is displayed in its own grid cell at fixed position. So we can't just display them one after the other in a loop. So usually we would just put show posts action on the first item, and that would repeat for every post in the collection. But here each item has an individual ID, and this ID is tied to CSS rules that specify the item's position in CSS grid. So we cannot just repeat the first item as a kind of template for all posts, but we have to display all 4 posts individually. So to do that, let's select the first project cell, and then in Actions we choose Show Posts. And then we set the range of items to show to 0. 0 means the first element. And now we can use the rest of the post actions on the element to display the content of the post. So this is a link, and it has image in the background. So we will add post link and post featured image. Let's display the large size. So why we call these actions smart actions? Because, for example, post featured image will figure out by itself that it has to display the image in the background of its element. And then let's add post title on the title. And for this subtitle we can use post excerpt. And let's repeat this for the other 3 projects. And the only difference will be which item we want to show. So let's do again, show posts. Range should be 1, so that means the second post. The range starts from 0. And then again select the image and say post featured image. And this is also a link, so we also do post link. And then post title, post excerpt. And we can do these 2 together. So let's command select both elements and add show posts. And we do 2. Okay, now we have to change this one to 3. So we have 2 and 3. And then we can select both images and we do post link, post featured image. And we select both titles and we do post title. And the same with post excerpt. So okay, let's export the theme. And wow, our projects are displayed on the page. So wouldn't it be cool to see this information, like this content, pictures and text in Pinegrow as well? And we can do this. So let's try. We will use import the content from the WordPress site. And here it is. Okay, so what is next? So we have experiences. And again, we have like hard-coded grid positions. And the way CSS grid is implemented in Webflow, it's a bit awkward. CSS by itself actually lets us use auto position for such elements, but Webflow doesn't support that yet. So again, we have to use show posts on each of these individual elements. But this time we will not use the main loop. The main loop contains posts returned by WordPress when we navigate to a specific page. So like when we go on the front page, it returns the list of latest posts. And we already use that for our projects and we display them above. So now we will do custom query. And with custom query, we decide what kind of information to show. And we will define a new custom post type called experience. We have to register the custom post type. And down here, we have to give it a name. Okay, so we created a new post type, experience, and we will use it to display experience on the portfolio page. So for the first item, again, we choose the range 0, and then we can select the title. So here we have to think, okay, what will be the post title, what will be the excerpt, how will we represent the duration. And here we see like the post type is experience, so the title should be describing the experience, not the place where we worked. So that means that the second item, should actually be the post title. So let's just add post title. And we could use the excerpt field for like the job location. So let's do. And then duration. The easiest is to represent it with a special field. So let's use post field. And we give it an ID. Duration, for example. Let's do the same for the other three. So we add show posts, custom query, experience will be the post type. And now we don't have to register the custom post type because we already did it on the first item. And this one, show posts, custom query. And let's export the theme, because then these values are also updated. So now when we go on the last one and we go show posts, custom query, and then experience is already here in the drop-down. And let's do, this is post excerpt. Post title, and post field, duration. Let's just check if our ranges are okay. Here 1, 2, 3. And let's export the theme. And let's go to dashboard. And now we see the experiences are added in the menu, and we can edit them. So let's add new one. So this will be the title of the experience, and the excerpt will be the company where we worked. Okay, but where are the custom fields? And this is the new editor in WordPress called Gutenberg. And in this new editor, there is no longer option to edit custom fields here. I don't know why not. So what we will do is we will activate Advanced Custom Fields plugin. This is a free version of this plugin, and it works very nicely with Pinegrow and with our themes. And then here we have custom fields, and we will create a new field group. That will contain fields for our experiences. So here will be duration, it's a text field, and we will show these fields when post type is experience. So let's publish it. Let's go back to our experiences. And now duration field is also here, so we can enter the information and publish the post. And let's do a couple more. So we added 4 experiences, and let's check the page. And here they are. So what is next? Oh, next is the contact form. And looks complicated, right? But it's not. It's really simple. What we have to do is select the element that contain all the form parts, and then we will use form smart action. And we will say, okay, save the form submission as custom post types, like private post types of post type contact. And we have to register it because it's the first time we use it. And then we select the element that will be shown when the form is successfully submitted, and the element that will be shown in case of errors. And like all these elements, these are generated in Webflow when we create a form. So they come handy here as well. And we could even use reCAPTCHA, but let's skip this for now. So let's export the theme, and let's try if it works. And it works. The form displayed the successful submission element that we selected before. And let's check out the dashboard. See, now here we have contacts, and we can see the submitted form information. And we forgot to do the menus, so we select the menu, the element that contains the menu items, and then we just add the menu action, and we say, oh, this will display the menu defined for the primary location. And here down we do the same, but we will display the menu associated with the social location. These two are predefined. If we would add the third location, we would just click this, register the menu location. So let's export the theme. Okay, but nothing is displayed, and the reason is that these menus are not defined yet. So we have to create new menus. So let's create main menu, save the menu, and then in manage locations, we say primary menu location should display our main menu. Save, and here it is. And then we do the same for the social menu. So we create a new menu. And we save the menu. And in manage locations, we associate it with the social links menu location. Save changes. And here they are. So now the website is no longer powered by Webflow. So let's take this out. So if we select whole element with this notice and we say don't export, and also now we can just go here and say open site preview, and this opens the site in a floating window. Every time we export the page or save the page, this automatically refreshes. But now we see, because it was probably flags box and the first item is missing, so now the menu came here. That's maybe not what we want. So what we can do is, instead of doing don't export on this outer element, we do don't export on the link itself. Okay, let's save. And when we save the page, it automatically gets exported as well. And now you see this is here, still here empty, div element as a kind of placeholder that is pushing our menu here to the right side where it is supposed to be. So what else? Oh, we forgot the logo. That's a very important piece. And what can we do? Like customizer field is a natural fit for this kind of editable areas. So let's do customizer field, and we will call it logo. If you remember, when we created the other three fields, they were enclosed with a div with the customizer section action, so we didn't have to specify the section because all the fields go to their parent section by default. But here the portfolio, like the logo, is outside of this element, so that's why we also have to prefix the field ID to be consistent with others, and we give it a name. And we also have to select the section where this control will be shown. And this is an image. And here we also have a link. So let's select site link. That should go to the home page. And let's save. And here we have notice that because we defined new customizer fields, we have to export the whole theme. Okay, so let's go to the page. And now we can use the customizer to change the logo as well. But we notice that it is very small, so let's publish. And if we inspect what's going on, we see that like in Webflow, we set the width to 104, and that was suitable for the portfolio logo that is very short, but not for our Mr. Adventure Bear logo, which is longer. The easiest way to fix this is to go back to Webflow and make the required change there. So what we will do, let's select the navigation bar. So we have logo image. So there is a class associated with that already. So the easiest way to fix this is to make the white automatic, auto, and then to fix the height. Fix the height to 26 pixels. Okay, so we did this change. We could change something else also on the page, because I want to show you one important feature of Pinegrow Theme Converter. So let's do a simple change. Let's just like swap the order of elements. We put the callout on the top. And now we will export the code again. We download the zip file and we unzip it. And then we will just copy the new files into our HTML project, and we will overwrite everything. And then let's see what happened in Pinegrow. So you see Pinegrow automatically reloaded the page and added back all WordPress actions to the fields. So now we just export the theme again. And here we have our updated theme. So the logo is bigger now, and this callout is on the top. And that's the main feature of Pinegrow Theme Converter, because now we just keep using Webflow to edit this page, to do changes, to add new elements, to edit styling, to edit HTML, and then just export the HTML code again, and just rerun the theme export in Pinegrow. So in just short time, we were able to create a fully dynamic and good-looking WordPress theme with menus, with form, with custom post types, with custom queries, using CSS Grid and Customizer. And I want to show you one more thing. You see, how does Pinegrow Theme Converter know where to add WordPress actions after we re-export the HTML source? And Pinegrow Theme Converter identifies every element with their selector. So this element has unique selector h1. This is class logo image, name text, and this is paragraph light class within element with intro wrap. And then this is CC work 1, 2, and the element ID is used to identify the element. So Pinegrow tries to assign these unique selectors and tries to assign the best possible unique selector. So if we click on this field, we get a choice. We can select selectors manually. but in general, we can just let Pinegrow take care of this. But one thing can happen. So for example, if we do a change, if we would go in Webflow and we would change this ID, so actually let's go and do it. So let's do here, and we set the ID to project 4, and now export the code. And then we put them in our source project folder. And we can reload. And we can notice, like now if we go on this element, its actions are gone. And here in the mapping panel, we see the notice that there are 3 mapping issues. So we can display these issues, and we see, oh, the target element is not found. So the element with this ID is not found because we changed the ID in Webflow. And then we have 2 more issues. So again, like the elements within this ID are not found because they use the same ID for targeting. You see, like work description. So, but it's very easy to solve this issue. We just select the project element, and then we go here, like on the main element with the problem, and then we say map it to select that element. And then not only did this action set got mapped, but also the other 2, because they were using the same selector, and Pinegrow just updated that once we resolved the main issue. And again, because we exported the code again from Webflow, our imported content is gone, so we just go here and we get it back. So usually we don't really need this mapping panel. It's only handy when there are some issues that we need to investigate and resolve. So then we can go here and use it to help us out. So this was just a quick walkthrough, and check out the documentation and tutorials where every smart action is explained in detail. And there is also a lot of general WordPress information there if you need a quick overview of key WordPress concepts.